In today's show, we're going to get into a Giants rumors mailbag where we only pulled questions from subscribers. That's a reason to subscribe. Another reason, NFL free agency is just around the corner. It starts Monday and moves are going to happen. And I got word just from my boss that if something happens, we are going live on this channel. So have your notifications turned on. You don't want to miss it. You don't not want to be a part of the first ever live here on Giants Now. So go down right now and hit that big red button and turn your noties on. What up, Giants fans? I hope you're having a good day. Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Give me a follow on the bird at _. I'm almost at 1,000 followers, and I need your help to get there. I only really want Giants fans to follow me, so give me a follow at _. In today's show, we got a Giants rumors mailbag. 2 ways to get on the show. Got to be a subscriber. Got to ask your questions when I ask for them. So go down in the comment section right now and ask a question using hashtag Giants. This first one coming in from Jesse Minkove. Realistically, what do you think Saquon's situation is? Will he be on the roster week 1? And if he is, will he be on the roster after week 9? I do think he will be on the roster come week 1. The Giants, they're in salary cap hell, and they could clear $7.2 million if they trade him. But according to the rumors and the people that I've talked to, Joe Schoen, he wants a first-round pick back in a trade. And the league-wide trade value for Saquon Barkley is about a 4th or 5th rounder. So I don't see him being traded, and I hope not, because I want to see what my guy can do in the Brian Daboll offense. Can he get back to the 2018 phenom version of Saquon Barkley that we saw in his rookie season, where he went over 1,300 yards, played every game, had 15 total touchdowns, 91 receptions, averaged 5.0 yards per tote. That guy was one of the best running backs in the NFL. Since then, since his rookie season, in the next 28 games, he has not been that good. Only 12 total touchdowns, just 99 receptions, about 400 carries for about 1,600 yards. Saquon Barkley is going to be more healthy than he was last year, and I'm hoping the offensive line will be better to create better holes for him. At the end of the day, he plays running back, and that's a dependent position. His success is dependent on how good the offensive line is. There's no way the offensive line this year can be worse than it was last year. But that's not the question. The question is, should the Giants trade Saquon Barkley? Go down and type T for trade or type K for keep. This will be the pinned comment. So if you get hit for a YouTube ad break, take advantage of it. Scroll down, get your comments in, type T for trade, type K for keep. What's going on, Alzo? Hope you're having a good day. Your question, should the Giants draft Malik Willis at number 7 if he is still there and develop him for the future, or trade him if DJ excels in 2022? We probably won't have a top 10 pick next year. I hope we don't have a top 10 pick next year, because that means we'll be doing good. Do I think they should draft him at number 7? I wouldn't do it, but I would not be shocked if Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll pull the trigger. Maybe they fall in love with the quarterback, and maybe that quarterback is Malik Willis. And if they draft Malik Willis, maybe they do look to trade Daniel Jones. I do think if they draft him, Jones would be the starter next year, and then we would have the QB competition start following year. What he did at Liberty this past year, completion percentage, not that great, about 2,800 passing yards, 27 tutties to 12 interception. That's a good TD to interception ratio, about 2 touchdowns per game through the air for Malik Willis. But he's not just a thrower of the football. When he decides to tuck it and run, he is a flat-out running back in the open field, often making guys miss, often making guys look stupid, hitting that juke stick, and whoop, shout out to Berman. Almost 200 carries last year, almost 1,000 yards, 4.5 yards a tote, and 13 touchdowns in 13 games. I'm bad at math, but by producer Coop, if you have 13 rushing touchdowns and 27 passing touchdowns, what's that, 40? 27 plus 13? Yeah, that's 40 touchdowns in 13 games. I would say Malik Willis has some of the most upside in this NFL draft. The thing is, I also think he has some of the lowest floor. He is a boom or bust prospect in my mind. I wouldn't hate if the Giants drafted him at 7. I don't think it's going to happen, but what would you do if you're the GM? Type Y for yes, you want to draft him, or go down and type N for no, you don't want to draft him. Michael Zero asks, I think that's what that says, Michael Xero? I think it's Zero. I can't really read that well, that's why I talk sports. But how well does Jones need to play this season in order to commit to him long term? Let's go already. I think for Daniel Jones to be the 2023 starter for the New York Giants, he just needs to get better every single game in the 2022 season. Show growth. Show that you are digesting Brian Daboll's offense. Show me that you're cutting down on the turnovers. Show me that you're holding on to the football when you get sacked. Show me that you can complete a 17-game season without having an injury that knocks you out for the year. I mean, if you want to talk stats, can I get 30 touchdowns, 15 interceptions? I don't think that's unrealistic of Jones in this Brian Daboll offense. Get better every single game. And show me that you are evolving as a quarterback. Show me you are better than you were last year. And I think in this Brian Daboll offense, he can do that. I hope that answered your question. Frosty Caps coming in with the next question. What position do you think the Giants will target in the draft, and which positions in free agency? I think in the draft, Joe Schoen wants to target edge rushers and offensive linemen. In free agency, I think you can go more of the skill positions, wide receiver and cornerback. Those are the positions that you target in free agency that the Giants are lacking. For wide receiver, cornerback, maybe a second string running back to replace Devontae Booker. But in the NFL draft, you want to get your studs. You want to get yourself a future Hall of Fame offensive lineman with one of the top 7 picks. You want to get a star edge rusher. You want to get those core pieces of the team. So that's where I think they go. Big guys in the draft, sexy skill position guys in NFL free agency. Agent P, I love that name. Should the Giants go after Bradley Chubb? This is an interesting question because we've talked about Bradley Chubb here on the channel before. It was because Pro Football Focus, they put this trade, and they said the Giants could look to make this trade. It was Bradley Chubb going to the Denver Broncos, and the Broncos receiving the 81st pick this year from the Giants, which was from the Dolphins, and this year's 4th-round pick, number 110, from the Bears. I think this trade makes more sense now than it did 2 weeks ago, considering the draft capital that the Denver Broncos just gave up for Russell Wilson. They could be looking to get some draft capital back in a trade. Bradley Chubb, he's on the last year of his deal, so maybe they see it as a time to trade him and get something back before maybe he leaves in free agency next summer for nothing. But let me know. Be the GM. If you're Joe Schoen and you're sitting there and the Denver Broncos call and John Elway's on the other line, he says, yo, we'll give you Bradley Chubb for this year's 3rd and 4th. What would you do? Go type A for accept if you want Bradley Chubb with the Giants. I really like him. If not, you can go down and type D for decline. I'm very interested where all of you Giants fans stand on this. Giants Now is growing like crazy, and I want to thank all of you for that. And Chat Sports as a company, we are booming, and we are also going to be posting content now on the Rumble app. It's another video platform, but it's a little more edgy, free and uncensored content. We are going to be the biggest sports channel on Rumble, so that's a reason to follow. They've got news, politics, tech, and we're just growing to platforms that you use. So give us a follow. Man, don't give us a fumble. I mixed follow and Rumble, but give us a follow. Rumble.com/NYGiantsTV. Another way to support the show is by following us over there on the Rumble app. Rumble.com/NYGiantsTV. King Carter, what up, Brody? Do you think the Giants will pick up B-Wags in free agency? I damn sure would love it. Bobby Wagner is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Just sucks because the Giants, they just don't really have the cap space for Bobby Wagner. He would be the perfect middle linebacker to have in a Don Wink Martindale defense because look at the stats on screen. In 10 seasons in the National Football League, Bobby Wagner is a 9-time All-Pro. This guy's going to walk into Canton 5 years after he hangs up the cleats. 170 tackles last year, he's still got it. 138, 159, 138. Bobby Wagner would turn this defense around. The thing is, I think he's ring chasing at this point, and he's going to want some big-time money. And it hurts to say as a Giants fan, I don't think we're ring chasing right now, and we don't have a lot of money. I'd love to see him wearing Giants blue. I just don't think it would happen. If he calls and says, yo, Joe Schoen, I want to be a Giant, you do anything possible to make it happen. Maybe it's Bobby Wagner. Maybe it's somebody else. I'm curious. Name a free agent you want the Giants to sign come Monday. Things are going to be active. The Giants, they're going to have to go B and C level free agent shopping because they don't have the top dollar to shell out. And Joe Schoen has talked about wanting to build through the draft. But let me know. Name a free agent you want to sign come next week. Jason LeBrake. Can anyone name a single NFL team that would pick up Daniel Jones if he were cut tomorrow? Just name one team. I just don't really understand this. Daniel Jones has not proven that he is a franchise quarterback, but he's also not a stiff. What about this for you, Jason? Jeff Duncan, he tweeted this out just a couple of days ago. Would not surprise me to see the Saints make a call to the Giants to check on the availability of Daniel Jones. So is that a team? If Daniel Jones was cut tomorrow, he would have a home within the next week, and it might be for one of these QB-needy teams. You got the Saints, you got the Colts. They just traded Carson Wentz. You got the Steelers. They're going to rely on Mason Rudolph. You got Tampa Bay. Tom Brady, he's out. Seahawks, Russell Wilson, he's out. I love Drew Lock. I love that he loves young Jeezy. I love young Jeezy, but he's not a good thrower of the football. Daniel Jones is way better than Drew Lock. If Daniel Jones was cut tomorrow, one of those teams would be on the phone trying to get him to be their next quarterback. And maybe it's not a long-term option. Maybe it's a stopgap option. But if Daniel Jones would be cut, he would have a team tomorrow. Do you believe in Daniel Jones, though? Do you think he can be a franchise quarterback? Type go DJ for yes or no DJ for no. Nico C. Anyone know what Andrew Luck is up to? He ain't up to playing football. Unfortunately, his football career is done. He came into the league, played for a limited time, and he showed that he was one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. Then he was sacked 500 times while being a member of the Colts, and he decided to hang it up. I appreciate the question. He ain't going to be playing for the Giants. I'd love it because he's from Houston. I'm from Houston. He's a good football player, but he's about 60 pounds lighter in weight than he was when he was playing football. His playing days, unfortunately, as a selfish NFL fan, are over because I loved watching Andrew Luck playing. I want to thank everybody that asked questions on the show. Another way you can get on the show, send me a DM with your question at @MarshallGreen_ and give me a follow. I want more Giants followers. I appreciate everyone that made it this far in the video. If you did, give it a like, and we'll see you on the next New York Giants Now.